And again, appreciate your patience with the lack of video, but we wanted to get going. That said, it's my pleasure to welcome you back to campus for Alumni Weekend for the first time in person since 2019. Also, welcome to our alumni who are able to be here this afternoon in person, and to those joining us virtually through our live stream in this Zoom function as well. I'd also like to extend a special greeting to our retiring faculty and staff that are joining us this afternoon. Again, I hope to join you at the faculty reception in person, as well as your celebratory reception that's following this, to congratulate all of you and our staff as well, and to thank you for your significant service and support to our college and students. Please enjoy the reception, and I encourage everyone to join them at the reception at 2:30 in Miller Student Center. Now, as an alum from the class of 1979, and as someone who served on our board of trustees for nearly 8 years, as well as now my presidency role for almost 2 years, I know firsthand the passion that we all feel for Westminster College, which many of you have expressed in the form of both your concerns and hopes for this great institution, to me personally and members of the cabinet and the college campus in general. Today, though, I want to assure you that these concerns and hopes are being addressed in tangible, actionable, and multifaceted ways. Now, let me begin my remarks by briefly summarizing where we were as an institution when I spoke to you about the same time last year during our virtual alumni weekend and shortly beyond that date. Then what I'd like to do is outline where we are today and what we collectively hope to achieve in these coming months and frankly for the years to come. Now, when I spoke to you last year, the campus was still in the midst of COVID precautions, continuing to pivot to a virtual learning environment, a compressed academic year, and other matters. Throughout that period, though, we adjusted, modified, and in some cases changed comprehensively our approach to our learning environment on a routine basis. That said, despite these strange times we were experiencing, our enrollment increased by 63.5% since the fall of 2020. Further, our student retention remained significantly strong during this period. We also were in the process, we're preparing for a major follow-up HLC review from their review in 2019. This was to be held and did occur in the fall of 2022, and I'll speak to that more in a few minutes. Our athletic teams, which represent over 50% of our student population, competed with their fall and winter sports programs, which were compressed into a shorter season in the late winter, or in the case of our football program and some other sports, they played or competed their seasons in the spring in totality. Our coaching staff rose to these challenges, as did our men and women athletes, so they could continue to compete at their respective sports in a safe, meaningful, and competitive manner. Our fraternities and sororities were able to complete their rush activities successfully, albeit modified, however, again, in a safe and sound manner. Lastly, but not least, we held an in-person graduation for our class of 2021, and we welcomed our new class of 2022 in the fall with an even higher enrollment. Each ceremony consists of the respective student classes walking through the columns in opposite directions, as many of you know, in the long honored tradition at Westminster. We were well into the midst of the development of our strategic plan and related capital plan for the college. Members of the cabinet and myself met with many of you and or held several communication sessions throughout the Westminster College community and throughout the year, including, again, yourselves, staff, faculty, students, employers, and other friends of the college to get your collective perspectives. We also sent an alumni survey to all 9,000 plus alumni, and many of you filled that and completed that survey, which was greatly appreciated. We learned a lot during that time and those discussions, survey results, and other matters, with the goal of being to re-engage you, our alumni, and to examine the college from all areas as an integral part of the strategic plan development. Your input was crucial to what we developed within our three-phase strategic plan, which I'll tell you again about in a minute. Interwoven in the strategic plan were our diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, important system-wide developments designed to foster this sense of spirit and important qualities within our college campus and community overall. This effort was based on a thorough foundation created by a previous campus effort, and we are grateful to those who charted that course for us in this important work. These efforts and respective recommendations will be forthcoming in a more public communication in the near future from me and others. However, we are moving forward with the implementation of many of these recommendations. Now, within the strategic plan were ambitious short-term plans. The development of new majors and an accredited online degree program, which we announced publicly yesterday to you and our students, faculty, and staff, as well as the media in concert with our alumni activities this weekend. There are other more long-term initiatives as well that diversify our revenue streams well into the future. Within this strategic framework was a thorough additional framework for operational execution and accountability of these initiatives and to monitor the progress of them on a regular and, most importantly, transparent fashion to not only ourselves as a management team, but to our board of trustees. Today, I'm proud to report we have accomplished all of this and more in the past year since I last spoke with you. And we are gaining more momentum on our goals towards a financially and operationally sustainable and transformational future for Westminster College over the past 2+ years and moving forward. I'm also proud to report that our strategic plan was unanimously adopted by our Board of Trustees in August of 2021. Then this fall, the Higher Learning Commission, or as referred to HLC, reviewed this plan as part of their follow-up to the 2019 visit that I previously mentioned. We were also informed by them that the college had met 3 prior areas of concern that we were informed of again in 2019. Further, the HLC visiting team's final report to the college leadership was significantly positive and commented specifically on the college's recent progress as an institution overall, and most importantly, our recent stability as an institution. We still, though, have work to do to prepare for what's called our 10-year accreditation process in the next 2 years. That said, we are confident, based on what I'm about to tell you concerning the strategic plan and these related initiatives and the financial aspects of this plan, that the college will be thoroughly prepared for our forthcoming HLC visit in these 2 years to come. So as I said before, we are pushing forward diligently and rapidly with what we call the 3 pillars of the strategic plan, which are made up of 88 individual initiatives divided again into these 3 sections. Now let me explain to you what these pillars represent. Pillar 1 is referred to concentrates on our product and our market, why we exist, where we are going. This phase is where we are right now. Again, in February, the Higher Learning Commission approved 4 new majors that were found to be in high demand and that market research shows to us that led to successful employment for our students after graduation. These 4 new majors are computer systems analysis, digital media, financial planning, and museum studies. Just a few weeks later, in early March, we received additional exciting news, which we are approved to launch again the Westminster Online Program, an accelerated accredited undergraduate degree program, enrolling now for the fall semester. That again, I just mentioned that we announced to the media yesterday and yourselves. Please see this press release and other formal messaging concerning this announcement on our website. The Westminster Online opens up Westminster's experience to a larger world, giving non-traditional students throughout the United States the opportunity to receive the same high-quality, personalized, and leadership-based education that you and I received when we were here and attending Westminster. This is, without a doubt, the biggest news Westminster College has announced, in our opinion, since it became co-educational in 1979. And we are highly optimistic what this program will mean for the college's future, both financially and, more importantly, as a diversification aspect of the institution's academic programs. We've already had several new student inquiries of both initiatives for the fall of 2022, which is quite exciting. Now, as we move forward with the strategic plan, Pillar 2 will emphasize constituency satisfaction. And we all know our constituencies, but most importantly, our students are why we are here in the first place. We are continuing to expand our recruitment efforts, going to new regions while in many instances returning to the past geographic areas. And as I mentioned last year, we're reaching out to high school students even earlier, long before they are juniors and seniors. Along these lines, we're continuing to excel with our high-touch student retention programs. And through our strategic plan, we intend for this positive, unique aspect of Westminster College to continue to grow as Westminster continues to evolve. Meanwhile, we have tangible evidence this strategy is working. This fall, Westminster welcomed again the largest freshman class to the campus in 5 years, as I noted in my remarks. However, definitely worth emphasizing again. As of April 1st, 2022, we've received 1,900 freshman applications and admitted 1,450 students, which is almost double the totals of 2 years ago. And more than 160 students has deposited for the fall semester, which represents more than 70% of our goal. Now, for those of you familiar with the March or May 1st deadline, that deadline isn't as important anymore because with the COVID environment, we find students are taking longer to make their decisions, similar to last year. And it's a phenomenon not only for Westminster, but institutions of our size and caliber across the country. So we were optimistic we will achieve our enrollment goal. Furthermore, our current students are thriving. Fraternity and sorority life at Westminster continues to exceed expectations. And we know this because data shows that Westminster boasts one of the highest per capita Greek communities in higher education today. Further, our students remain active in all types of clubs and organizations with 40 clubs that represent a broad and diverse array of social, cultural, educational, and civic-minded and recreational opportunities. Westminster students are well balanced and strive to be leaders to set such examples. Again, this brings me to finally my third pillar, 3, of the strategic plan. It will concentrate on operational excellence, investing heavily in our faculty and staff, as well as their professional development. This is something we began on a smaller scale in late 2020 and 2021, and we continue to do so. In our opinion, these changes we have made have successfully re-energized the college community. And again, we will continue to focus and maintain such diligence with respect to these aspects. Further, we have recently refreshed our college campus master plan to look at the future of the campus plan, buildings, or frankly, the lack thereof, and the present and future residential housing needs. This initiative is longer term in nature. However, as we look at this plan, refresh more aspects of it, and discuss this in the forthcoming months with our staff, faculty, and students, as well as our board, we'll look to certain short-term aspects of the plan. Throughout all of this, in order to meet the significant number of initiatives of these 3 pillars that I've outlined for you, college leadership has developed and or is developing a comprehensive execution plan that we believe will grow enrollment realistically and rationally, both traditional and non-traditional students, student retention and related outcomes, and most importantly, net revenue targets that are achieved between 2022 and 2026. Within this framework, finances and related liquidity requirements throughout this time horizon are being monitored carefully, and we are regularly evaluating the college's present capital structure and future requirements. Overall, what this means in terms of dollars throughout this time horizon of the strategic plan is designed to achieve and generate $14 million in new net revenues. Additionally, I'd like to point out, as I did last year, that the college has utilized its endowment in a prudent and fiscally and donor responsible manner and will continue to do so. It is through your significant and ongoing generosity, which we are truly grateful for, we will continue to grow the endowment, especially in support of new student scholarships and financial need for such students, for our present and future students as they make their journey through Westminster's academic program. I want to emphasize, though, that what is built into our financial approach are long-term plans for our facilities. Many are showing expected signs of age, including America's National Church and Museum. That was a significant focus of the management team and our board. And one of those accomplishments in this area was last summer's successful closing of the college's approximately $13 million 2021 bonds issued through the Industrial Development Authority of Callaway County, Missouri. Approximately $3 million of those proceeds of these bonds are being used and are new funds to provide facility improvements, updates, and renovations to our museum. Our capital plan continues to be developed, and we have several initiatives that we have already completed or will be completing in the next several months, and we'll talk more about those in the future communications. Now, I realize I've discussed a lot of information with you this afternoon. I know there are just a few specific examples of the behind the scenes and concentrated care we are taking in this transformational effort for the benefit of our alma mater. But I assure you again that Westminster continues to be financially stable. And although we face various challenges, we collectively own these as a leadership team and as an institution, and as I have said before. I also want to assure you that these matters are truly solvable over time, in our opinion. And again, we, the entire Westminster community, have much to be optimistic about now and into the future. As last year, the goal of the State of the College address and our ongoing communications have been present to reflect a transparent and realistic sense of where we are as an institution today, as well as our view for the future of the college. And in that spirit of transparency, you will see, starting tomorrow at various events, our new refreshed donor transformational document related to the aspects of the college's plan for 2021 through 2022. Please take the time to look at that. As we go through this journey together, rest assured that matters with respect to these endeavors will evolve as we seek input from the Westminster community, especially from yourselves alumni and many other constituencies that support this college and continue to be so generous to the college. Again, Westminster is witnessing a time of renewed optimism and enthusiasm as a result of significant efforts by our staff, faculty, board, and many of you both now and for the future as well. Together, we are laying the strong and realistic foundation for a sustainable and transformational future for the college. Now, thank you for joining me here today for this occasion, and please remember, I and we do want to hear from you. And as I started the presentation, I very much appreciate everybody's patience for the working through this particular matter to have this address. However, Lorraine and I hope to be back this afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you throughout Alumni Weekend, as we'll both be attending several events starting this afternoon at the William Woods and Westminster reception. So now I'd like to turn to a few other announcements. Last fall, Westminster welcomed our new alumni director, Melanie Barger, who was here throughout the weekend and excited to meet you. Please take the time to introduce yourselves and say hello. You won't see her at all the events. However, you can find her at the Jack Marshall Alumni House on the 7th Street address. Additionally, I know the class of 1972 is here celebrating their 50th reunion. Congratulations. And I hope you're encouraged to walk through the columns today at 4 p.m. Again, I was planning to attend these functions today and tonight. However, again, my intentions have been, quote, rearranged for me. And finally, we arrive at the results of the 1851 Challenge, with a successful spring phrasing campaign this year. We are truly grateful to those who have made donations and who embraced the 1851 Challenge concept, which saw the Greek community go head to head with the independent community to see who could raise the most money for Westminster and its funds for the future. And thank you again. Likewise, the Greek Challenge and the Independent Challenge ran simultaneously with the fraternity sororities Independence decades, challenging one another to raise money for the college. Now, before I go any further, I would like to recognize a very special group of volunteers for this initial, for the 1851 Challenge. These individuals lent their names and reputations to campaign communications from the college and rally support from their peers. And we owe the success of this campaign to them. Those individuals are noted on the slide that Brandon will put up on the screen. Thank you, Brandon. Now, as you know, the 2022 challenge was extended through April 6th, and the results for the top spots and dollars raised for the fraternities is very close, and our assessed participation percentage results. And we are still tallying those as we speak at this meeting. And I'd hope to give you those results, but we don't want to mislead any of those results and want to recognize everything that is still coming in through this evening. And we hope to announce these very shortly, if not this alumni weekend. So congratulations to you, and thank you all for your collective support of Westminster College. And again, thank you for joining me for this address today. And Lorraine and I look forward to seeing you again this weekend. Thank you.